What's up, y'all? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you what's on my mind. And I want to give a big shout out to all of the new subscribers who've come onto the channel. And I thank you very, very much for your comments, for your likes, all of the viewers. I thank you so much for your input. It means a lot to me. It really, really does. The give and take, this time that we're going through right now, it's crazy. If you look at what's going on, we have a new Star Wars film about to come out. If you go on to Rotten Tomatoes, you see it doesn't look good at all. This is just unacceptable. Our Star Wars is supposed to be a major movie event. Whenever it comes out, it's supposed to be just ready to steamroll over everything and everybody. And, unfortunately, that's the reason why I call Solo not another Star Wars story, because that seems to be the attitude now. When you hear about, the next Star Wars movie, it's not another Star Wars story. You know what I mean? So it's just gotten to be this really just ho-hum cash grab, because there are so many fans out there who are just going to go for whatever Disney Lucasfilm puts out there. So until it becomes like brutally evident that this is what they're doing, we're just going to keep on seeing it. They're just going to keep making their money and giving us very little in return. So anyway, I want to share this article with you guys real quick that I saw yesterday. And I'm going to drop this on you, and I'm going to be on my way because I got to track down my son. He's outside somewhere with his little ruffian friends, and I have to see what's going on. I'm just that type of dad, and he can't stand it. One day you'll thank me for it, boy. Anyway, the article can be found on freep.com. That's the Detroit Free Press. And the headline goes like this. The breakout star in Solo is L3-37, a female droid for our turbulent Time's Up era. Okay, and it goes on to say, L3-37, the feisty, oh she's so feisty, assemblage of metal parts and artificial intelligence portrayed through motion capture technology by actress Phoebe Waller-Bridge in Solo, not another Star Wars story, brings the blast of freshness that the rebooted Star Wars franchise has been moving forward. Only she's traveling at hyperspeeds of relevancy, and we're impressed. You go, girl, or thing, or whatever you are. L3, as she is affectionately known, only has a co-starring role in the Han Solo origin story, but she lights up the screen every time she appears. What, does she have like one of those LCD joints? Is it like one of those screw-in bulbs, or how is she lighting up the screen? She's a droid. And in unexpected ways, she adds an edge and poignancy that helps prove, yes, there are good reasons for bringing back the venerated space opera other than box office takes. Okay, if you say so. As co-pilot to a young Lando Calrissian, Don Glover, L3, I'm not going to do this. You guys are not going to get me saying that. I'm not saying it. Donald Glover. His name is Donald Glover. L3 is nobody's possession. And she isn't shy about making that clear with a well-aimed quip. In a scene inside the Millennium Falcon, when Lando asks if she needs anything from outside the cockpit area, L3 fires back, "Equal rights!" That's great. Equal rights for a thing, for a droid. I have an alarm clock over here. The alarm clock wants equal rights too, perhaps. The movie itself has the unenviable task of telling Han Solo's origin story to fans who have Harrison Ford's take on the role imprinted on their brains. We all love Ford, yet Solo does a respectable job of creating new pieces of the puzzle for a character frozen in the collective memory version of Carbonite. Oh, I see what you did there. That's clever. Alden Ehrenreich captures much of Solo's inherent bravado in a way reminiscent of Ford. Oh, sure he does. Albeit with more of a boy band cuteness. Yes, because when you think of Harrison Ford and when you think of Han Solo, you think of boy band cuteness. Right? Think about that. Bye with that bullshit. Okay. Glover, whose epic, tragic, "This Is America" music video has gone deservedly viral, pays fun homage to Billy D. Williams, Lando, Game of Thrones regular Emilia Clarke as Han's youthful love interest lends a British touch of class, and Woody Harrelson as Han's mercenary mentor is, well, Woody Harrelson, which is not a bad thing at all. Then L3 enters the storyline with a jolt that and redefines a female robot for our era. I fucked that up. Then L3 enters the storyline with a jolt and redefines a female robot for our era. Of course, you can't compare her on-screen presence to the work that's been done by real women through the Time's Up and #MeToo movements. So why are you trying? That's exactly what you're doing, right? That's the point of this whole article, is it not? Isn't it? Is it not? Their courage and dedication are helping to topple powerful sexual harassers and putting a spotlight on gender inequality in the workplace. Okay, there are men also who are sexually harassed too, by the way. But you write the story how you want to. We're not just going to focus on that. I understand. Okay, I'm being petty. I'm sorry. Moving on. That progress is happening now, not in a galaxy far, far away. Okay, the person who wrote this article, read that sentence again and really think about what you're saying and what you're implying. That progress is happening now, not in a galaxy far, far away. It's happening now, not in a galaxy far, far away. So, wouldn't a galaxy far, far away be the wrong forum to put what's happening now into those stories? Think about that. Still, L3's abrasive, outspoken, unafraid to be disliked attitude makes a tremendous impression because it's so different from past templates for women droids, which mostly have been thoroughly sexist and played for scares or laughs. The prevailing classic archetype, the fembot, embodies the old Hollywood perception of actresses as window dressing, only with added technology. Think about the sexy robot assassins of 1997's Austin Powers International Man of Mystery. Oh my God, they're using Austin Powers to make their point. Oh, we're in trouble. Or the subservient droid-transformed housewives of 1973's The Stepford Wives, a popcorn horror movie that spoke volumes on male fears of women's liberation. Even Rosie the Maid in the 1960s cartoon, they're going to Rosie the Maid. In the 1960s cartoon, The Jetsons defines the limits of past female robots. They were either physical ideals without a mind of their own or cleaning machines. This decade has introduced new subtlety, beginning with 2013's Her. The bittersweet drama chronicles a man, Joaquin Phoenix, who falls for a computer operating system with a soothing voice. Ooh, Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. That soon outstrips him. She strips? She strips. In intellect and sophistication. Oh, okay. I was about to say, where's this movie at? Most recently, anger has been a predominant theme for female droids who have been used and abused, most stunningly in the current HBO series, Westworld. The righteous leader of a droid revolution at a fantasy theme park, Dolores, Evan Rachel Wood, transforms from gentle rancher's daughter to steely avenger with a thirst for blood. Is she justified in her actions? Well, it depends. Is she taking those actions against men? If she is, then of course she's justified. Whatever she does, anything goes. Kill him! Yes. The question makes Westworld compelling, both as sci-fi gender warfare and cautionary morality play. Which brings us back to L3. I mean, what are we talking about, L3? Is this like Battleship? L3, whose fully fleshed understanding of her subjugated place in the universe is remarkably played by Waller-Bridge, the creator-star of Amazon's Fleabag and writer-producer of BBC America's Killing Eve. Well, that doesn't sound very feminist, Killing Eve. Boy, imagine how history would have turned out if Adam had done that. L3 takes no gruff from humans, even though she harbors a sweet spot for Lando, and even gabs with Clark's character Kira about why a romantic relationship with him wouldn't work. She knows she's born to be a machine, but that definition of her is imposed by others, not harbored within her consciousness. Deep inside, she wants to be treated decently, just like any other thinking being. Instead, she's viewed by strangers as little more than space junk. And sadly, that resonates in 2018 when too many people, and one person alone would be too many, are feeling emboldened to treat others as lesser than, whether it's because of their gender, race, ethnicity, or immigrant status. For women, sexism has been a problem since, the beginning of recorded time. But now, female voices are getting attention in ways that honestly seems revolutionary. And during L3's big scene, when, spoiler alert, she yells out, "Rebellion!" something clicks that relates strongly to 2018. L3 is a freedom fighter, just like any ordinary person. Boy, she sounds more compelling than Ray. Oh shit. Who's speaking out these days against actions and beliefs that just aren't right. In short, her feminist credentials are impeccable, as are her humanitarian ones. So, when's her spin-off movie? Solo, Not Another Star Wars Story, is rated PG-13 with sequences of sci-fi action and violence, and it opens on Thursday. Okay, that's the end of that article. So there you have it, guys. L3-37 heroin for our times. You know, I don't have a problem with these types of themes. I don't think a lot of us do. The question is whether or not it belongs in Star Wars. Now, that's something that the article doesn't tackle. If you look at, let's say, The Outer Limits, going way, way back. My mom used to watch that, and she told me about it. Sometimes you can catch it on MeTV. The Outer Limits, they had an episode where, I believe it was The Outer Limits, where they had robot maids or robot servants, and the issue at hand was the way they were treated. You know, I thought it was compelling. You know, for The Outer Limits, that was entirely appropriate. Or The Twilight Zone. Star Trek is great for that. You know, Star Trek has always explored issues of humanity. You know, first with Spock, then with Commander Data, of course, artificial life forms. Data had a so-called daughter throughout the course, and in one particular episode of the series, where they had to figure out what her right to life was. You know, even the Orville has picked up that mantle. When is that coming back, by the way, anyway? Is it coming back? But they had a great episode, you know, regarding sexuality, where they had a same-sex couple, and one of them was going to have a child, and the child was actually going to be a female, and the race was all male. So I thought that was a very interesting episode. Then, of course, Blade Runner. You know, Blade Runner is probably a classic when it comes to issues of artificial life forms and what rights they have to life and whether they should even be considered alive. You know, so it's not really about, you know, whether or not people are open to these things or whatever. It's just about, is this the right context? Star Wars really isn't about that as far as I'm concerned. It never has been about that. It's been about other themes and, you know, adventure and excitement and, you know, to some degree, some philosophy, you know, hope, like I said before, action, you know, but exploring artificial life, intelligent rights and all that stuff, that kind of sidetracks, man, you know, from what I believe the concept of Star Wars is, you know, and I think that's where a lot of the pushback comes from. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Is there any room in Star Wars for this type of thing? I don't know, man. I'm not really feeling that, honestly. You know, and I don't think anybody else is either. I don't know. Let me just stop with just speaking for myself. But, you know, like I said, looking at that Rotten Tomatoes, dog, it ain't looking good, yo. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go find my son, see what's going on. And I will catch up with you guys at a later date. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. I will catch you on the next one. Rock on.